I've had a interesting 24 hours. When we least expect it, all sorts of things come in and change us and deliver us and enhance, expand, express, all those great words. So for the moment, what I want to tell you is this Pride service is super close to my heart. So I lived in New York City in the 80s. I was in retail buying, and I had many friends in the fashion business. And it was a place where I knew many beautiful, creative people who also were what we identified as gay at the time. And in many communities that I intersected with, spiritual, work, play, I don't know, I guess they're just whatever they are. In all the communities, there was a huge impact of my relationships with beautiful gay men and women, mostly men for me, for whatever reason, because they thought I was beautiful, which was super fun. And they thought it was fun to just dote on me. And there was never any threat of action, to be honest. So it was fun. It was fun to hang out. It was very safe, but they were also incredibly beautiful, deep, loving human beings. We did a lot of spiritual journeying together. And a lot of them died. And we all know how they were treated. We all know they were not cared for well. We know they were sidelined. We know there was shame and justification of all sorts of inhumaneness towards this group of people. So Connie has brought that alive for us again today as we recognize that it's alive. It's alive. It's not gone. It's alive. And this is not the only place we see it in our world, but today we're talking about where we see it in our world with this specific community. I love the description of joy in the parade, that the young people are in some way freed in a new way to be joyful with this. And that's okay. And it's still lovely to still feel the loss of those that have gone before, that have carried us, that have opened the doors to all of what is new, what is joyful, what is great, what is powerful. We always see that the journey unfolds this way. There was always love here. There was always love here. And our participation with it requires there will always be love. The challenge we have in a moment like this is to be love. Now, we might be thinking, what? Because I think most people in this room are resonant with a field that would be compassionate and kind and open and loving to the LGBTIQ plus community. And however someone wants to identify themselves, I think everyone sitting here would be aligned with that truth. I may be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I apologize for lumping you with a bunch of other people. So I can speak for myself and say, yes, this is true for me. Compassion, care. So I went to decide this time that I was going to sign this form that said I was an ally. I was going to get to stand in this place, and we named the service Pride Ally Service because we have beautiful voices, but we also want to carry the voice of the ally. That's really important, right? We want to be there for our brothers and sisters and friends. In physical fact, brothers and sisters and friends. And we also want to be there for the greater conversation of it is not what we hold in our hearts to be against this group of people. We hold an openness and a blessing and an honoring of all experience. So I went to sign this pledge and I was reading it and reading it and reading it. And it was very lengthy and very, very specific. And it was very powerful. And then I realized that I couldn't sign it because somehow woven inside was againstness against others who haven't reached this consciousness. If I step into againstness against anything, I have lost my way. I can stand fully for, we can stand fully for anything and everything as it unfolds. In the moments it's unfolding, we have the choice to be the loving presence that is holding. This is very obvious to us, right? Who would not love these beautiful women singing and uplifting us? Who would not love Connie as she speaks to us? Who would not love each and every one of you and every member of your family? Who would not love that? Well, we all think that's just easy. That's just easy, but it's not for some people. So how do we treat them? And here is the challenge of life. So also yesterday, Mary Reed was here for those of you who know her and missed it for some reason. It was a beautiful, beautiful outpouring of her consciousness. It is videotaped. You will see it. You will not miss it. She's a transmission. You will get the energy. Don't worry. No FOMO here. You don't have to worry. You missed something. And it was beautiful. It was fun to be with our friends in a gathering and with people we didn't know. So this is her new book, Humanity's Epic Awakening. It's a gorgeous book. She writes strongly and thoughtfully with a lot of clarity. And here's where this whole untangling began last night. I was reading this while I was thinking about, I can't sign this thing that says I'm an ally, but I am. But I can't be allied against. I can't be allied against. I can be allied with. And so I just was lying there wondering what on earth to say, because in no way do I want to say I can't be an ally. And in no way do I want to promote separation. How do I get through that, what do we call it, threading the needle? The answer is in the and of life. The and that everything is already one, the and that we don't need to have an opinion or a judgment about anything. And certainly in the opinion or judgment we have about anything arrives the loss of our oneness, arrives the loss of our peace, the loss worse, the worst loss that arrives is the loss of our ability to contribute to our world. The minute, the second we go into judgment about something, someone, some group that should be doing this differently, the minute we do that, we hop out of this gorgeous, powerful, strong field of love into the field of fear. Everything becomes two and breaks from that two-ness. Oneness can't break. It is the strongest force. It is the strongest force. It is the one force. Yet, and here is the koan within the Zen question of the whole time, is how come I can think in duality while I live in oneness? Let that break your brain, because we do not want your brain here. Thank you. We want your expansive, miraculous, powerful mind to go on a journey that asks questions like this of yourself. How can I stand in this field of light and then split it into two? So for this moment, allow yourself, let's take this step together this morning. So let's close our eyes and let's let everything in this world be one. It is already here, so it is already God. It is already here, so it is already divine consciousness. It is already here, so it is love. And as we accept that, and the Course in Miracles would say, either it's love or it's a call to love. It is still love within the call. It is called, when we flash beauty and brightness and holiness and joy on something, we will see the shadow. What will we do with the shadow? Close your eyes and turn and face the shadow. See yours. See what you judge. See what you hold separate from love. What is outside love? Is it your job? Is it someone? Is it something? Is it an institution? Is it America? Is it the flag? Does it have a name? What is it that you are holding love apart from? Just notice. Just notice. And now I invite you, especially if there's one thing that really gets you. Today, if it's pride for you, if it's your journey with whatever kind of otherness that someone has placed on you, take this moment to turn and look at the thing that gets you. Don't we all have that thing that gets us that we can't accept? The one thing. The more specific you get, the more leverage you will have. And so as we walk through these passages, as I listen to Connie's spoken word, and my heart breaks for so many stories, children beaten up by their parents, people left to die, mobs attacking, individuals just to be themselves. I can feel the rearing of my rage. And then I feel my own experiences, and I'm asking you to follow along. When have you been othered, vilified, pushed away? And when have you enjoyed? And I'm sorry to use that word, but we do when we gossip, when we push away, when we make someone wrong, when we push them out of the field, we are the problem. If we are going to break the problem, if we are going to include everything in our field, we follow in the footsteps of people like Gandhi, who say, hate the crime, but not the criminal. Never unlove what is loved. And we would take it further now and we say, don't even hate the crime. Love it all, because the only power you have is love. Rage is not power, it's fear. And yes, we need to express and we need to be able to hold all this, and we need to be able to hold it in love. And so we look around at our world, and instead of pushing things away that we don't want, we accept that they are here now and let the feelings arise. And I'm going to read to you from Mary's book. It is already so. Believe it's her last chapter, 33. There is this work. This is the work to make it all holy. All the other work falls away. Anything that arises in our awareness is already here. Accept it unconditionally, for it is already God without condition. We will soon see it through God's eyes. Allow this to come into you. Allow you to know that you are as this one presence, as you see with love. You become it. And so no matter how delicious the anger, the gossip, the glee, the joy, the pushing away, the demonizing, the blaming, because it takes the hook off you for the moment, don't get caught. That is not God. And so we keep reading. Anything that arises in our awareness is to be accepted as equal value and potential to exist, for it is already equally as God. When I was in a seminar, we were in a dyad where the person in front of us said something as controversial as they could, but they had to fully believe it. And we had to sit in acceptance of that. And for me, this was a very powerful experience as this woman went on and on about something I have a very strong opinion about from a different point of view. And I had to keep doing the exercise because I am a very good student, just so you know. And I kept doing it and I kept doing it and I kept doing it. Bless you, bless you, bless you. I accept you. I accept this. I accept this. I accept this. And my whole world changed. I fell into love, not in a romantic sense, into the field where the whole room changed. Everything. I can see it right now. 3D, 5D, 12D, whatever you want to call it. Everything was alive inside me. It was all me only because I had made the choice to follow the direction, accept this one human in her whatever opinion and story, and let it be love. And let the love do the work. I have no need of opinion. Love arranges it all. Love brings it all back into alignment. Love brings it into attunement, into coherence, into sustainable relationship. Let love lead the way. Get out and merely love. What does love look like? You will be informed moment to moment. Everything that is here is worthy of your love. Otherwise, we are the problem. We are contributing to the breakdown, even if we think we're on the right side. Because how many people do you think go around the world thinking they're on the wrong side? Nobody. Nobody. But if you're on a side, you've forgotten there are no sides. Anything that arises in our awareness is to be embraced in the unity and oneness with every other part of our being, for it is already part of the oneness. If it is here, it is already one. As we rise out of the dense darkness of separation consciousness to see the light, we remember, I am as all is of God. There is nothing else. There is a cherishing awareness, being aware of and cherishing all there is to be aware of and cherish. We are, all is that. So today, what we're going to do is look at everything out there. Just look at it that you have separated yourself from. Those people, that color, that experience, and let it all be accepted and let it come in. Now, you may not be able to bring it all in at once today. I'm not suggesting, just make sense of this for yourself. That the holiness exists in the ability to be with loving, sacred contact, no matter what is going on in the circumstances or the life that is in front of you. Treat all with honor. You are not needed for anything except this grand and glorious love and light that you are. Come into this beingness. Love everything there is. and allow yourself to be used as the instrument of this loving universe. And so, yes, today we say, yes, we stand with all humanity and the LGBTIQ plus community today in just an honoring and appreciation of the journey. And yes, we hold everything else in love. As we do that, allow that to energize us. Allow the power of what that is to come fully in for us. And notice wherever there is resistance within you, love that too. And you will be free. And so it is. And so we take this moment to invite every heart, mind, and soul, every beingness, every rock, every tree, every blade of grass, every bird, every animal, every fish, every river, every stream, every land, body, sky, all infinitude, galaxies. And know that it is all one, and in this oneness, all power exists in and through and as us from this tiny little community of CCL. Where does this conversation show up for us? Where do we find ourselves forgetting? And how do we want to remember? We are the power. We are the love. We are CCL. And we are one with all things. Claiming right here and now by divine birthright, the holiness, the love, the health, the abundance, the grace, the peace, all of the attributes of God, the compassion, the joy, the passion. I invite joyful celebration of the realization of the power of love that is each and every member of this church and every beingness everywhere, as we stand firmly, strongly grounded in the one love. And so it is.